Yeah. Good afternoon, everybody. In this second session for the day, wherein we are trying to practically examine what is it to be a post-colonial critic, and we have taken two examples. One is Shashi Tharoor's work on Era of Darkness, and we are trying to study his speeches and his interviews, which he gave, where he is talking about the book, The Era of Darkness. And second work, which now we are going to discuss, is from Chimamanda Adichie, who is again a very well-known novelist from Nigeria, and her TED talk is on the dangers of single story, which we are going to talk. So let me just begin with the basic premise of post-colonial criticism on which we are trying to think. So we know that post-colonial criticism concerns itself with these four propositions. One is undermining the universalist claims. So universalism is rejected. And you will find that very beautifully explained by Chimamanda Adichie in this video. How that one way of seeing the world, like something is universal, means something is established as a permanent truth. Unquestionable truth is something what we call as a universal claim. And that is what in this small TED talk she is rejecting. Then language is something very important, that the language around which we live and we grow, and how that plays a very vital role. When at one place Chimamanda Adichie calls herself that, well, my skin color is like chocolate skin color. Yeah? Chocolate. Now we know chocolate is something that we have a positive connotation. Yeah? But then chocolate skin color is something very much insignificant in that way. That color is not highly respected color. But how do you combine that language to create a new image in that chocolate skin color? So language is very, very important in the childhood. When we are exposed to a language in a particular way, that becomes our worldview. And so even if we are involved in creative writing process, then we see the world through those lenses only. It is very difficult for us to go beyond those lenses. Language becomes the lens, and we can't break through that unless we have to work on it. And that is what you will find in this video also. Identity also, as a hybrid identity or an unstable identity. When you move from one geographical location to another one, at that time we feel that fluidity which is necessary, or we understand our identity also in that fluid form in a better way also. I remember this Jacques Lacan. Jacques Lacan has said in his one of his psychoanalytical concept about mirror stage, and in the mirror stage he says, he gave a very humorous example with pun. He placed pun on the word homelet. Homelet is made up of two words: home, H-O-M-M-E, H-O-M-M-E, home, which is pronounced as om. Om means self. Om means I am, that is om. And an omelette, omelette. So he says omelette is something where you break an egg, and then you allow the liquid to flow in a pan when you make an omelette. So at that time, that liquid is trying to get into some shape, but it is still on a frying pan trying to get a shape. So self, when a self is trying to get a shape, that is what he says is a mirror stage. And that happens normally when we are of 6 months to 18 months. When we are at the age of 6 to 18, at that time, in that mirror stage, this omelette, which we are trying to get some shape. So at that time, our identity with language, with our surrounding, whatever we get, that we are getting into shape. And we are very much settled with that identity. who am I, who are these relatives, this geographical location, this place, and I connect myself that I am Gujarati and I connect with this. I am Bhavnagari and I connect with Bhavnagar. I am Indian and this. Now, if I have to move out of Bhavnagar or Gujarat or India, and then how am I seen there? How people look at me? And if I am looked as an inferior in that place, then it is very shocking. Then to again reclaim my identity as a thing becomes very difficult. So as a Nigerian coming from African content, Chimamanda Adichie, when goes to America, and then curious way that people would ask a question. And I think you also will give this example that the roommate in the American university hostel is asking that play some of your traditional songs, because like you are coming from Africa continent. So like it will be like Jinga Lala kind of a thing, and those songs. And well, you said, well, I love Mariah Carey, I love Lady Gaga, I listen Michael Jackson. So he said, no, you should be listening only those your singers and those things only. So that is how in that dialogue also you see the conflict of identity. Being a sensitive writer, Chimamanda is able to observe that. But this all things may happen with us also, but we don't observe those things. We do not record it in our memory also, that when we interact with people, what happens, what kind of interaction is happening, how do we record in that in our memory, and then locate into a proper discourse, and then we try to tell something about it. So that also is something interesting to be seen in this video. And then cross-cultural interactions also, which comes here, adopt, adapt, and how she speaks about her mastery of English language also, which also is surprising to many Americans, that you are coming from Nigeria. How can you speak such a beautiful language? It is not expected that you can speak such a correct English language. And this is that you have adapted, you have become skilled in using the language of master or the language of other. In very skillful way, you have mastered that. So you have adapted and adapted to that level also. And then in several stages of post-colonial criticism, we have seen that how the colonial countries are represented by white people, and then self-exploration. So here also we will see lots of self-exploration, which is a part of second phase of post-colonial criticism, celebrating diversity, celebrating self, celebrating hybrid identity, our own culture. So you are not ashamed of our own culture, and we try to say with a sense of pride about what we are, from where we come. You have a sense of pride with your skin color also. So you are not ashamed that my skin colors are like this or that, or I cannot have a ponytail like the other women with having a longer. You have a curly hair genetically. You have a curly hair, so you can't have those ponytails. But you are owning your own identity. That was that phase, self-exploration, that is seen, that you will see here, and then this. Empirical way that she is exploring what we actually find in the surrounding, how people see the things. That is again very interesting to be seen here also. And these are the points which I hope you will use in your blog when you write about it. In this proper context, you are going to situate your analysis, and then you will publish it as a blog also. Okay, so now let me ask you that what are the important points that you have observed in this, and in between, if you have any question, then that also you can ask. So who will start first?
Sir, may I?
Yes, yeah. If possible, keep your camera on. If possible, when you speak, keep your camera on. Yeah, yes.
Yes. Chimamanda Adichie, she is an African storyteller, a novelist, and here she is describing some of her personal stories. And she mainly points out the dangers of a single story. She grew up in university campus, Nigeria. Her mother tells that she started reading at the age of 2, but probably she tells that might be at the age of 2 or 4. So she was reading American and British books. Then she was also early writer. Almost at the age of 7, she started writing. And what she wrote about her characters were white and blue-eyed characters. Her characters were playing in snow, ate apples. They talked about the weather, lovely sun. But in Nigeria, there was no snow. They were eating mangoes, and they never talked anything about weather. Then their characters were almost foreign characters. And she also mentioned about ginger beer, that they used to drink ginger beer, but she never knew what was ginger beer, and she also expressed the desire to taste ginger beer. And in Africa, she read African books, and in that we see that mental shift in perception of literature, that books to have foreigners in them is important to get a broader idea of the world. Then those books opened a new world for her, and African writers saved from single story. She was a conventional middle class family. Her mother was administrator, and her father was professor in university. And at the age of 8, they had a houseboy who was Fide.
Okay, okay, let me stop you here. So one point you have made, okay, so one very interesting point that you have made. So then we will ask other students to continue from this, so we can avoid repetition also. And if anything important is missed out, then other can fill in also there. And the next one who will speak now, they will speak from this point, okay. Very interesting point, childhood stories. And then when she tells that she became a writer, so even in her stories, there were characters who were white people, whose habits was to eat apples and beer and snow and other things there. And then suddenly you realize that, well, in my world, there is no snow. And we eat mangoes instead of apples. So why am I using apple? Why my characters are eating this? Why not the other thing? What is this? So that is knowing self. That is that self exploration. You read some stories, and once you start writing, if you are just doing that, then your mind is colonized. Your mind is colonized by those things. And in many ways, that's why many times we have seen this, that when we watch Hindi cinema, the Hindi cinema of very rich people who are just getting bored by something, and then what they do to kill their boredom, they go to foreign country for a picnic. They go to foreign country. So I always feel that who are these Indians? How can we connect ourselves with these Indians? Who are we? Where are our stories? Who are we? Where are our stories? So in our last class also we have said that, well, as a youngster, a young Indian is, what is he looking for? Young Indian is looking for work, for job, for economical freedom, financial liberty. That is what he is looking for. The young Indian is looking. So where are those stories? Why there are no stories where these people are told? And then we refer to some of the stories like Aspirants or Kota Factory. So web series is coming to answer. Web series is making a space and trying to tell that, well, your poets will take time to tell stories, your novelists will take time to tell stories, but there are web series who are telling that, well, these are your, perhaps this is what is your world. Young people's world is like this. But if I was not interested in that world, and I still was interested in the different world of very rich, super rich people, then now I start questioning that also, that why this world, and where are we? When I look at now, I look at films, and if there are characters who are teachers, and if there are university teachers or college teachers, then I am very much interested to see what are they doing. What are they doing, and will that be the way that the university college teachers would be doing the things, or not? So when I was watching this Gabbar Is Back film, where the protagonist was a college teacher, and so then what he was doing was something very terrible. You said that, well, teachers are not like this. Teachers don't do violence. They have a better way of the solution. It is not you hang people. You say, well, this person is doing wrong, catch him and hang him. Now, that is not the way of teacher. This is Gunda's way of doing the thing. This is what teachers do. Don't be Gunda. So you have a problem with that portrayal of a college teacher. You will say that, well, this is not fair portrayal of college teacher. It is better you would have made an underworld don there. Aaj kaam karavu હતું તો પછી કોઈ અંડરવર્લ્ડ ના માણસને મૂક્યો હતો, કોલેજના પ્રોફેસરને શું કામ ત્યાં મૂક્યો તમે? Why have you put him there in that context? So you start reading your environment, yours, how they are narrated, and then you question. You question also. So obviously, it is the concern is the white, the colonial world that you read, and how they intercept into our unconscious and then become a part of our world, that is our creative world or whatever we see, and we fail to see ourselves. Now, decolonizing means you start looking at yourself again, and you say that, well, we love mangoes. We don't have apples. Like in Gujarat also, normally in this season, summer season, it is the mangoes that play a vital role. But if you see, there is this apple plays a vital role. Kahavatma બધે apple ખૂબ આવે. ઈવ શું ખાય તો કે એપલ ખાય. હવે લોકો સંશોધન કરીને કે ના એપલ ટ્રી જ નહોતું ત્યાં, ફિગ નું ટ્રી હતું, ફિગ હતું, એપલ તો હતું જ નહીં. અને it was not even a fruit, any fruit. It was a tree of knowledge. It was ultimately tree of knowledge. It was not even apple or a fig, but tree of knowledge, from where the fruit of knowledge Eve has taken, he has tasted. And you wanted to tell women that don't taste the fruit of knowledge. You are supposed to be subdued to Adams. You are supposed to be subdued to Adam. So punishment is given. Apple laptops are there. Apple with Newton also is connected. But my world is about mangoes. The mango season that we have seen, or other fruits also. So what my characters will do, that is something very interesting to be seen in that. That is the process of being colonized as a child and then decolonizing oneself by questioning those things also. The parents, the point of parents also is very interesting. So she is not coming from a family wherein there was no education. Her father was professor, mother also was an administrator, so a good education and good job, so well settled, well academic background she is getting. Even with this good academic background, the parents already well settled, when she will go to America, she will be still seen as somebody coming from a village, wherein as if she must be the first one to be academic or be educated in his entire family or entire village. એ રીતે અમેરિકા જાય તો જુએ ને, છતાં પણ આટલું હોવા છતાં પણ એ હજી, કારણ કે એ બ્લેક છે, and black people are untidy people, they are uncivilized people, they are uneducated people. The stereotypes, that was also something point to be noted in this there. Okay, now from here, she was talking about a little boy. Then anybody else would like to say about that? Or any other point in this continuation? Freddie boy, she tells about that there was a maid, a help. There was a help, Freddie. Anybody has noted that? Otherwise, I can ask Khushbu to continue with that point. About the point of Freddie, the help. ઘર કામ કરવા માટે એનાથી ગરીબના ઘરમાંથી એક છોકરો ઘરે મદદ કરવા કામ, આપણે જે કામવાળા ભાઈઓ બહેનો રાખ્યા હોય, આપણે મોટે ભાગે ઇન ભાવનગર રિજન આપણે કામવાળા બહેન જ હોય, કામવાળા બહેન હોય જે વાસણ ઉટકવા આવે, સંજવારી પોતા કરવા આવે. પણ અમદાવાદમાં રામાની સિસ્ટમ છે, રામો આવે એટલે કોઈ પુરુષ છોકરો હોય ઘર કામ કરવા આવે, વાસણ ઉટકવા આવે, એને રામો કે રામો. અમદાવાદમાં એ રામાની સિસ્ટમ કે કોઈ છોકરો એ વાસણ ઉટકવાનું, સંજવારી પોતાનું, રસોડાનું કામ કરવા માટે આવે. એવો ફ્રેડી એક આવો રામો છે. That is what she is mentioning. Anybody would like to say about that?
Sir, Khushbu forgot to mention one important topic, that Chinua Achebe and Camera Lai, they both are the writer who changed the perception of our Chinamand Adichie. that before reading these two African literature, she thinks that the word is or literature are for that kind of people, they foreign peoples, like who has a white skin and blue eyes. But after reading the African literature, her perception are totally changed. That literature consists like my type of people also.
Yes. Who are the writers?
Chinua Achebe and Kemera Lai.
Yeah, Chinua Achebe and this. So yes, she makes a good point that after reading this work, it really changed that this can be, this also can be the literature. This is of our people there. And now you can say that though we study English literature, before we begin our class in our daily schedule, we give one space to regional literature. So we are not uprooted. Many people think that if you study English literature, you will be uprooted. You will be only about other culture. But well, we give that space for regional literature. So every day you bring beautiful poems from Gujarati language or Hindi language and you speak. And we give lots of reference when we study this literature, that is either American or British literature. We give lots of reference to Hindi web series. Last time I was having one talk. It was for student about cultural studies. I think Jamnagar College organized that, and after I gave lots of examples about Shakespeare and other people. And then one student asked that, what about Hindi literature? What about why there is nothing? You talk about Gujarati literature and the Hindi. I said that I referred to a retelling of Macbeth in a Malayali film, web series. Malayali film, which is again there. So that was Joji. Joji was the film which was there. So I said that in that context, I referred to the Hindi cinema, the retelling of Macbeth in terms of this Makbul, Joji. So it was referred. But see, what is our mind? Our mind says that if you talk about novel, then only it is about literature. If you talk about web series, it is not about literature. This mindset, and it is among young people also, whose world is around web series. Their world is not around novels. Those women of Victorian times who were reading novels and they were not allowed to read novel, that was there because novel was the only mode of entertainment, only mode of that. That's why more and more women were attracted. Today, novel is not the only mode of entertainment. We have other alternatives and this. So, but when you refer to this, people still do not consider that you are talking about literature. You are not talking, because that is again a different colonization that happens there. So our own literature also should be read, should be compared. I referred to an example that in PhD also we give priority. If you are comparing literary text from America or Britain or Europe or Russia with Indian writer, it is welcome movement. It is very welcome kind of an idea. So see, now this all things you will require that sometimes you are arguing and you are very progressive in your argument. You are arguing, you are very progressive. At that time, somebody will tell you that your mind is spoiled, your mind is corrupted because you study English literature. This Western ideas has corrupted your mind. Then you will require this, that no, we don't only study Western, we study Indian also. And these things are very much taken into Indian literature also. These ideas, these progressive ideas are taken by Indian writers, Indian novelists also. It is not only so. So, ક્યારેક તમે રામાયણ કે મહાભારત વિશે કંઈક અર્થઘટન કરતા હો ને કોઈને એમ લાગે કે તમે તો અપમાન કરો છો, તો તમે શશી થરૂરનું આપી શકો કે જો ધ ગ્રેટ ઇન્ડિયન નોવેલ. તમે અટલ બિહારી વાજપેયીની પોયમ જુઓ, જે આપણે ગઈકાલે DS માં જોઈ હતી, એ પણ મહાભારત ઉપર વાત કરે છે. So you can very quickly we can tell that this is રામાયણ છે તો રાવણ આલય પણ છે, રાવણ આલય પણ છે રામાયણની જેમ, તો એ પણ હોય છે. So this prepares one's mind ready for many of those debates also. Okay, so good point about that, how these writers have changed their mindset. Yes, then yes.
Yes, sir. May I? In this video, Adichi also explained that if we only hear about the people or about place or situation from one point of view, so we are already accepting the risk that are totally different. And the one line I have noted down that if we start the story with the era of Native Americans and not with the arrival of the British, so we have a totally different stories from that. And one point also is that one American student asking her that in her novel the male protagonist is abusive Nigerian. To answer this, Adichie says that all young American men are already serial killers. So here she create a fun and
okay.
another.
Yes, yeah. 2 points, 2 interesting points you have made. Yeah. Before we again come to, so we can give chance to everybody there. So now, still, before I come to these points that you have made, we were talking about that help. So if the others have not read that, then I can invite Khushbu again to talk about that. Freddie's point that Khushbu was making before I stopped her. Yes, yes, yes. Khushbu, you can continue that.
Yes, sir. Freddie was a boy, a little boy who was working in their family. Chimamunde's mother told her that he is comes from a very poor family, and his family lives in a village. So he was working with them, and when once Chimamunde was something her plate was remaining in her plate, then her mother told her to finish everything because people like Fide don't have food to eat with them. And so only point her mother told her only one point in her mind was that they were very poor, and once they visited Fida's village, then his brother had made a basket, and it was a very beautiful one. So it was not only that they were very poor, but they had talent also. They can make beautiful baskets, but some conditions made them poor.
Okay, yeah, that was a good point. Domestic help, domestic help of I think FIDE, F-I-D-E, FIDE was the name of that little boy.
His name was Fide. The only thing my mother told us about him was that his family was very...
Yeah, Fide, Fide, it says. F-I-D-E, Fide, name was Fide. And a very interesting point that poor, you are told one story only, that they are poor, but they are good in some other thing. When you visited the home, you realize that they have skills in other things also. Skills in other things, and that also can make, but that was not told. And when the things are not told in various perspectives, we normally get a wrong notion about the things. So everything is to be seen in multiple perspectives. Multiple perspectives is always, never believe only one side of the story. Never believe, which obviously becomes a very interesting life lesson. Very interesting life lesson that if anybody is telling you something about somebody, कोई तमने कोईना विषय कहीं कहे तो सीधू एक तरफी वार्ता क्यारे मानवानी नहीं क्यारे ए वखाण होय के टीका होय वखाण होय तो पण नहीं मानवाना ने टीका होय तो पण नहीं मानवाना. There will always be another side of the story, other side. And then what is your experience in the third dimension of everything? 3D is always there, but we go beyond 3D now. We have multiple dimensions of thinking and looking also there. Okay, so that is also a good point. Now see, in case you are having the problem about this to read thoroughly or to take note, then what you require is transcript. Transcript તમારી પાસે હોય. Transcript એટલે જે કોઈ સ્પીચ હોય એનું ટેક્સ્ચ્યુઅલ કન્ટેન્ટ. જેમ આપણે અહીંયા બોલીએ છીએ ને કેપ્શન લખાતા જાય છે. અને કેપ્શન ઓટોમેટિકલી આપણા ડ્રાઈવમાં એ સેવ પણ થઈ જતા હોય છે. That are you aware about that? I think last semester we tried this. Auto transcript in laptop, I think. In laptop it happens, not in mobile phone. And automatically it is saved in the drive also. Are you aware, anybody, about this? or not? I think nobody is aware. Then someday we can talk about this. Then if you are not aware, then someday we can talk about this, that how it can be converted into automatic transcripts, auto transcripts. Not aware? Are you? No, nobody?
Sir, in that video of Bill Ashcroft, the captions were visible in the video also.
No, that can be visible on your screen also. When you are listening, when you are on mobile phone, you can see the transcript. Are you able to do that?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Everybody?
Yes, sir.
You can turn. So when I speak in English, then you will get the transcript. But if I speak in other language, then the transcript will not be there. Captions, there is an option of caption. So remind me to talk about this in the next DS. Next DS. If you are aware, then you can tell, it will be good. Some of you can present that. Then it is always good if you do that. And if not, then I will let you know that how it can be done. Okay, so in the next DS, you can just remind me. Some of you can show other students, or you can remind me also. Okay, fine. But now this transcripts. When you have a TED Talk, this video is taken from TED Talk, and in TED Talk, these transcripts are given along with the TED Talk. So from this blog which is shared with you, if you click on this TED, then you will come to this website, tedtalk.com. This website you come where this video is here, and here at the bottom you see details and transcript. Do you see this?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Are you seeing the word transcript written there?
Sir.
Yes, sir.
It is how many languages?
49.
Yes, it is in 49 languages. Yeah? And word by word you get what is spoken. So if you are missing some word, then you can just come here.
Outside Nigeria.
And when you click on that, even that words are spoken also.
We ate mangoes. And we never talked about the weather because
from there it speaks again. Yeah, that part. And it is in 49 languages. So it is also in Hindi language. Yes, automatically with a single click. See the magic of technology. You get in Hindi also. So if you have a problem with the English word, a quick Hindi transcript also you can do. So now when you are borrowing things for your write-up, then transcript helps you a lot. When you want to use some quote, then either you have to listen the video several times. You will have to listen the video several times. Instead of that, you can quickly get this version in this language. So 49 languages are supported, and this also you can do. This is TED Talk feature. Transcripts are given, and you can quickly take the transcripts from those things. Yeah. Now see this. Now while I have put this on, while we are talking here, I put the caption on, and see this. If you are able to read here. So I was asking you, and there at the bottom you see details and transcript, and then there is a reply from Daya. Yes, you see this. Yes, yeah. Transcript and seeing word transcript. So you have said yes. And how many languages? Riddhi replied 49. So this way you automatically see this gets ready. Automatically everything that is spoken that we get in terms of written words. This is laptop feature. So you won't get it in mobile phone, but in mobile you can see this, that everything that is spoken comes here in this. There may be slight error of some of the words, but still we get lot many things in a correct way. Yeah. Yeah, so this was the thing, but we'll see this again in Thor, but we are talking about something else and we went off the other thing. Okay, fine. Yes, now Daya has said this very interesting point here. Yeah? And that is this, that arrival versus arrow. Arrival versus arrow. Some of the histories of the I lost my connection.
Sir, unmute your mic.
In my laptop, so I'm connected here. Okay, right now. Okay, so arrows versus arrival. That was the reference we are talking about, and so in that we see that this Native Americans are narrated as killers. They used to come with arrow, but so people say that you have to start with the arrival. If there is no arrival, there is no arrow shooting. If there is no arrival, there is no arrow shooting. You are an outsider. You are entering into somebody's region. So they are killing you. They are attacking you because there is encounter. There is killing. There is massacre. That was what was the absent from the definition of colonialism also. Oxford English Dictionary do not refer to this encounter, which comes here. So you say these people were bad people, but they were bad because you went to encroach their land. You went to encroach their land. So they are now coming with bow and arrow to kill you also. Okay, and abusive male protagonist in a novel, and people say that all black male are abusive. And she gave a very interesting example that I read a novel, American novel about American psycho, serial killer. But I don't think that all Americans are serial killers. It's a story. Yeah, but you can't stereotype characters. You should not stereotype all the characters as if it is one way, then doesn't mean it is all people are like that. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Next. Who will speak next? Yes. Next. After this, what are the points coming? Are you getting my voice?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay, fine. So then who would continue from here? What else are you finding?